Welcome to the Rachel Varga Podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Varga, double board certified aesthetic nurse specialist since 2011 with over 20,000 rejuvenation procedures performed. I'm an international clinical trainer for other physicians and nurses as well, celebrity skin expert, having been featured on some of the world's top proactive aging podcasts, and much, much more. Learn more at rachelvarga.ca and enjoy today's episode. Welcome everyone to today's live recording interview right here on the newly rebranded Always Radiant Skin podcast, where today we are discussing how we can improve our skin and also how we can improve our detoxification with Lauren Alexander from Neurohacker Collective and the makers of Qualia products, which I personally use, I personally love, and I know that you will too, especially after understanding how I use them and why I use them and what the benefits are that you can achieve too. And full transparency, I just did a study for Neurohacker Collective and Qualia on their skin product. And for me personally, I was really happy with the changes that I saw on my skin. So we're going to be talking about what I noticed, what I also noticed in the study participants with their skin, and how I truly believe that this has also allowed me to be outside for a little bit longer in the beautiful sunny, hot weather here in the South. So let me tell you a little bit about today's guest, Lauren Alexander from Neurohacker Collective, who make the products and the brand Qualia. Lauren Alexander is a marketing executive specializing in result-oriented client acquisition, brand management, content marketing, digital marketing, and revenue growth. She focuses on strategic new customer growth while building a solid brand foundation, building to the life mission, vision, values, and formulation approach as Senior VP of Marketing at Neurohacker Collective. For over 17 years, she has helped create winning marketing strategies for companies and led multiple cross-functional teams towards enterprise-wide growth and success. Lauren joined Neurohacker in 2017 to head marketing. This role oversees marketing strategy and execution for business units, brand initiatives, and emerging businesses, and drives advertising and budget, vendor partnerships, digital, paid, print, broadcast, store marketing, and events, which we've had the pleasure of connecting many times at incredible events focusing on biohacking and longevity. She leads e-commerce, organic, social PR teams to build and execute seamlessly integrated marketing plans. Lauren is the mother of two young, beautiful children, a passionate gardener, and biohacker, which is why we're the best of friends. Her passion for the field of biohacking is also reflected in her upcoming book, The Biohacker Experiment, which is set to be released in 2024. And y'all know I'm going to be reading that book. Welcome, Lauren Alexander from Neurohacker Collective and Qualia. How are you today?
Oh, so good. So good to talk to you.
You were looking beautiful and radiant as ever. And Lauren and I have actually been working together. I've helped you with your skin. You're actually a client of mine as well. And I'd love to ask you the question I ask every guest here on the show. Let's kick things off, shall we? What is radiance to you, Lauren?
I think it's a really thoughtful question. And probably when you ask me it, I'm going to have a different answer, like any time, it's moving. But for right now, I'd say balanced. A balance has a lot to do with radiance. I think you were even talking to me before the call about balancing the masculine and feminine elements of, your own journey, and how I related to that as, a high achiever, obviously in a male dominated industry, and thinking about the radiant people that I look up to or that I aspire to. It seems like they really have this balanced approach and in almost everything, in their lifestyle and their work-life balance and the integration of how they eat, sleep, biohack, et cetera. So, and that that kind of is how I could really encapsulate radiance.
Excellent. And yeah, you personally, you've seen me day one going through massive life transformations. And I got to say, the company that you work with, VP of marketing, your products have seriously helped me out with helping me stay strong and resilient and support my body through various antioxidants and incredible ingredients you guys have in your products. And I'm curious for myself and also everyone tuning in, because you're a very busy working professional, male-dominated world, you have young children. What has it been like being a client of mine?
Oh, wow. Well, so, I, like many, want to have beautiful skin. And I've sought out, many different kinds of solutions, whether it's procedures, peels at home, not at home, etc. And, different influencers on YouTube. I've spent so much time on it. And my first consultation with you, I was floored at how knowledgeable and thorough you were. You literally asked me to bring in all my skincare items and looked at the ingredients on every single one, and kind of what truthfully was like, Lauren, throw this away. This is interesting. I need to do more research on this. Candidly saying, oh, this is just all marketing. You've spent way too much on this. And the thought and the knowledge was such a powerhouse that you gave when it came to that. And as someone who honestly, like, I'm not a professional label reader of skincare. And I really, aside from very basic stuff, really can't discern what is marketing, what's not, and what's effective. And so the fact that you just cut through all that noise for me and then gave me a few recommendations, and I bought a few things that you recommended, a cleanser, and was just floored at the quality. And then I kind of went back to your site and was like, okay, what else did she recommend? And took a couple more things. I think a scrub and a serum was my next purchase. And, over a period of like 6 months, I've literally replaced my entire cabinet with your recommendations. And this is the thing, they're so high quality, but really the price points are reasonable. In some cases, like a deal. Like, I can't believe how good a product is for the price that you have. And it's really, like, Rachel has scoured the industry and curated these products and knows the label, knows what's legit and what's not. And I've never worked with someone or taken recommendations from someone where it's like every product you send me, I'm like, wow, that's awesome. And so I just, from that and the advice that you've had in the different camps that I've joined, I think the first camp I was in was the fall skin camp. And one of my favorite recommendations, you did this episode where you had like your hair roller on and you were like getting ready for bed or something like that. And I was like, I went out and bought that hair roller, and I'm completely addicted to it. And because I have like just a mop of hair that's just a mess. And that recommendation, in addition to like the Hallelujah hair oil, have been like game changing for my hair, because I just really don't have time to, spend an hour a day, which is what it takes with my hair type. So I think for anybody watching this that's like been on the fence about, checking out one of the products, signing up for a skin camp, or signing up for a one-on-one consultation, like 100% just do it. Like, because the value there is just unmatched. There's no one out there doing that quality that Rachel is. And I couldn't be more thankful that I was able to find such incredible resource. Because that's the thing, we're all busy. Like, skincare is not a hobby for me. Okay. Like, some people it is, right? They're like, instead of spending, time like knitting or gardening or like whatever, they research and have like a 14-step skincare. They're like really into skincare. Like, not me. I want beautiful skin. I want to spend zero time doing it. and I don't want to spend a fortune. Okay. So it's kind of like the triple, I'm making a lot of demands, right? I don't want to spend a lot of money. I don't want to spend a lot of time, and I still want like healthy, radiant skin. And so I think Rachel has delivered on all of those fronts incredibly. So thank you so much. And I just joined the School of Radiance, and I'm so excited at what's to come from that, and really continue to just every piece of content and quality that you put out is just amazing. So thank you.
Well, thank you for being willing to share with everyone here. And really, that's my aim, is to help cultivate more conscious consumers who are using better products. And the compliment you gave me, I'm feeling very flattered at the moment, because you know pretty much all of the top health and biohacking influencers out there. You have access to everything, getting sent everything to you as well from, other beauty brands also. And one of the things I'm always considering is, how does the product feel? How does it work? And how much of the product you have to use, and what's the price point? And I find for a lot of different products out there that I don't have highlighted on my e-store, you have to use so much of it, because the slip to the product isn't excellent. So then you end up using double what maybe you would in something that I recommend. So I take a lot of things into consideration, and I'm really grateful that you've chosen to work with me and see the value in that. Because for some reason, there's nobody else doing this. Naveen Jain said that, the founder of Viome, no one else is doing what I'm doing. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, why not? So I'm helping to raise the bar in the aesthetics industry, because number one, you want to have your customized skincare routine dialed in for you from a professional. Like, forget about haphazardly piecemealing the stuff together from Bill, Bob, and Sally on YouTube, or even a lot of these other influencers on YouTube who are recommending toxic products that you can get over the counter from CVS and things like that, but they're totally toxic. And yeah, Skin Camp. So the reason I do those tutorials in Skin Camp and not publicly is because I look absolutely ridiculous. Like, you really think, Lauren, that I would be willing to do that hair tutorial and show that on Skin Camp?
Oh, like, man. It's so good though, Rachel. It's so good. And I sleep with that now, like, every night. And I'm such a biohacker. So I have my hair where I look like I'm from Star Wars or something. Then right. I have, the eye mask, mouth tape, EMF shroud, hoodie, then weighted blanket, earbuds. So I'm like, I'm taking it next level of my sleep, but I've never been sleeping better. So
yeah. And then you wake up and your hair's done. Hello, time saver, right?
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah. I did my hair in braids because I just did a workout this AM. Finally feeling like I can actually move my body and feel strong again. Thank goodness. And it's, because I also have support from people like you and the incredible company that you work with, making great products to support my own resilience, so that I can continue to cruise through life with grace and ease, because that's really what I'm all about, is how can we be more radiant? How can we slow aging? And there are absolutely some tools and things that I do that I share publicly here on the show, one-on-one skin camps. And then the deeper stuff is in the School of Radiance that, I'm sorry, I'm not really going to share all the behind the scenes stuff in, the open public container. So that's what School of Radiance really is. You get more of that real, raw, unedited, like the deeper stuff. Because that's what people ask me. They're like, Rachel, what do you do for meditation, communication, emotional stuff, spiritual stuff? So that's really where I open up. And you're in that, and you're a perfect fit for it. Being a, busy working professional, you have a family. And at the end of the day, we still want to be in our beautiful, gorgeous, feminine form. However, working in a male-dominated space, one of the other School of Radiance members, Stephanie, she's also a entrepreneur in a male-dominated space, and women can really lose ourselves. Did you know that being in a male, you're going to find this in the next lesson. You're going to love this one, Lauren. When we are more in our feminine, we're actually going to have our male counterparts pay more attention to us, as opposed to trying to be like the guys, right? Show them we can be like the guys and rough and tough and all that stuff. But when we are in our feminine power, they're going to see your force. That's for sure. Not to mention with you and your husband as well. And I just did a follow-up with, we're going to obviously talk about the incredible products that you guys offer at Neurohacker Collective, but this is something I see a lot of women struggling with. So not only what you're going to learn further in the School of Radiance is going to help you in your workplace, but also in your personal relationships. Because no man wants to be with a woman who's like the leader of the household, right? I just did a call with Jill yesterday, longtime 2-year client. And, she has to take leadership to get everything done in the house. And, it's going to impact your sex life and all that stuff. So there's some power to being in the feminine, and the man just shows up, gets the things done and all that. So pretty cool things. All right. So when it comes to, stay tuned. There's more exciting things to come in the School of Radiance. All right. Let's dive into tools that I've been able to access through you, meeting you at different events and getting access to your incredible products to help me with my resilience. Because at the end of the day, to be beautiful, to slow aging, we do have to become more resilient. And how do we do that? We achieve that through consuming different supplements, nutrients, nutraceuticals, and of course the biohacking stuff. So I'm very happy to hear you say that you sleep in an EMF shroud so that you're protecting your body while you're sleeping. Great job. Good job. All right. So in your busy life, and I'm going to be sharing some things behind the scenes that I do too with some of your products, how do you see Qualia fitting into your healthy skincare routine? And yes, of course, I'll share how it fits into my radiance routine too.
Yeah, so Qualia Skin is a formula in many ways. In many ways, I think our science team made it for me because you definitely have their ear open. And one of the frustrating things about skincare is that it's all kind of only going a few layers deep. And if the more you understand how the body works and how an inside out approach to skincare really makes sense. And then learning, through the product development process, the science team really educated me about the importance of these red foods in our diet and how impactful they are to pigmentation, to glow, to hydration, and how it's really, really difficult to eat your rainbow in the lifestyle that we all live, and to get
That's
enough.
such an expensive and inconvenient for the whole family sometimes, right?
Yeah, and just between sourcing and the expense, and also just there's so many other aspects of diet to focus on other than reds, right? And if you're traveling, so the fact that, they have, so there's one ingredient here. It is a red orange complex. And this orange has 3 different types of orange that are grown in a volcano bed in Italy. And they have studies on this red orange complex that show that the pigmentation and the hydration that comes from the nutrients in that, just one ingredient. There's several ingredients, in this formula that support skin health. And so one of the things that I really, how I use this, this is one that's best to take with food. It doesn't say that, but I just have this, that's my preference. And so I take it at lunch, and in addition to my regular Qualia regimen. And, in terms of hydration and glow, it has delivered an incredible result for me personally, taking that. And I've been really excited to hear your feedback on the product, as well as you had a few participants that you work with take it and, work with them before and after and see how it's impacted their skin.
Yeah, I love to do my own photography analysis, and I do research for a few companies. As some of you here on the show have heard me mention, I'm really skeptical about skin nutraceuticals that are on the market, because a lot of them, the ones that I've seen be really heavily marketed by top influencers here to influence you to buy stuff you don't need that's going to be toxic. A lot of these, hair, skin, nail gummies, they go and get tested by a third-party lab, and 2 gummies exceeds the daily allowable limit for lead. So I'm not interested in the really trendy, heavily marketed products, because a lot of times those formulations can go down in quality, especially, say, for example, the company gets bought by another bigger company. So I really trust Neurohacker Collective, and just the name Qualia, it's quality, right? So what I noticed in my skin when I took Qualia Skin, and you can find this on my favorites biohacking page at rachelvarga.ca. There's promo code Varga. I'm not going to talk about things that I don't personally use and love. If you know anything about me, I'm really fastidious what I talk about. And I would say for my skin at 4 weeks, and then also did the analysis at 8 weeks, was pigmentation actually went down quite a bit. And I wasn't expecting to see a lot of change in pigmentation, but I had huge pigmentation. And not to mention, I was taking this during, the most stressful time in my entire life. So typically when we go through stressful times, we can see more breakouts, more of an uptick with melasma and hyperpigmentation, hair loss, dry skin, and adrenal fatigue, right? So not only do you have things like biotin, iron, zinc, selenium, copper, manganese, chromium, and then the molybdenum, which you mentioned, there's also aloe vera inner leaf juice and amla, which is an adaptogen. So you're getting your antioxidants and adaptogens. And if there's anything for you guys to be taking to support your skin in the aging process, is antioxidants, omegas, collagen, and yes, the fourth is going to be adaptogens, 100%. When we have these adaptogens on board, like with the skin, and taking this stuff consistently, there's no product on the market that's going to be like a one-hit wonder. You take this for like a week and your skin's better. Your skin does have to go through these skin cell cycles. And essentially, we had a question here. Hello, Dr. Miriam. Great to see you. What is the active ingredient that reduces pigmentation? If I were to answer this in a broad way, I would say it's just chakra blocking your body full of antioxidants, which is going to inevitably help reduce what's called the oxidative stress status in your body, otherwise known as the toxic bucket, as well as adaptogens. So when your body has all these antioxidants in it, it's going to be better able to fight off the free radicals. Now, the other thing that I found when I was on this was I could go out in the sun quite a bit longer and not notice myself burn. And I know that, Lauren, you're not allowing me to make, sunscreen claims, so I'm not going to say that. However, I definitely did notice more of a resistance and resilience to UV sun damage. And I personally would take the skin products and, your other products too, like the Life, the Mind, the Night, as well as the Senolytics, actually before bed. I find when I take my supplements right before bed, I always sleep better. So my beauty sleep routine is not only skincare, it's all the supplements that I take and then the biohacking stuff, right?
One thing I'll add, an ingredient that we didn't mention so far, which is Astapure for pigmentation. This is a type of algae. It's a branded ingredient. Neurohacker, a lot of times our science team really seeks out branded ingredients specifically because of the studies behind them, and also because of the purity and potency that you can get with a branded ingredient. So Astapure definitely has strong pigmentation claims behind it.
I love that. Thank you. It's like you can't take too many antioxidants, in my opinion. Like I take a boatload, and I started doing this a couple years ago, just for my own health. After 2 car crashes, had some extra inflammation, pain, things like that. So I have to really be on top of this stuff. And I was like, whoa, my skin is so much better when I'm focusing on taking these agents. So thank you for answering that question. Thanks for the question, Dr. Miriam. Great to have you participate. The other thing I noticed with this product that I have noticed with other nutraceuticals too that are focused for the skin is a brightening to the eyes and just an overall brightening to the face itself. But that resilience to the sun was huge for me, and the reduction in pigmentation, because I don't typically get pigmentation, but just because I was going through, more stress than usual, I had a little bit more of it. And it was also the start of spring, summer when I was doing the study. So that's not always the best time to do a study because people are getting more sun exposure, but it was across the board. Acne went away, so different breakout spots had gone away. So that's why photography analysis is so key, because we can actually forget what we look like when we have a rejuvenation procedure. Studies show within about 3 days you forget what you look like. So I was really happy to see that. Pigmentation, blemishes go away. People that had more blemishes had fewer at the end of the study or went away completely. And that's also where these types of ingredients that Qualia Skin uses comes in handy. Is if you have a blemish or like a bug bite and it's taking a long time to go away, they really should be going away in about 3 days when you are taking the right nutraceuticals to support your body, biohacking, doing all the things I talk about for free here on the show: air, water, lighting, electromagnetics, purification, and detoxing. So I'd love to, if you have anything to add to that, let me know. But I'd also love to jump to Senolytics as a part of my detox routine. Yeah, perfect.
I got one. This has just been a really incredible product. I'm so proud of it. The science team, when they first told me about it and their research, I was like, what? Like the word is so bizarre. But really, it's the forefront. It's the most exciting research coming in the longevity field right now is around senescent cells and really challenging our beliefs about upstream and downstream activities when it comes to the aging process. I'm sure this community has heard of the hallmarks of aging. It started out, it's one of the most cited papers in science right now, but it started out as 9, and senescent cells was listed as one of the characteristics of aging. And these are cells that have become so worn out and so stressed out that it's no longer worth the body putting in any work to repair it. And they're not dead, they're not alive, but they're taking up space. And obviously, cells have a lot of jobs. And so not having part of your cell population performing their duties is a drag, and obviously can accumulate a compromise in tissue health. But in addition to that, these senescent cells actually secrete inflammatory markers that influence the health around them. And so that what happens over time is that these healthy cells sitting next to a senescent cell could become senescent. And so that's how they get their reputation as being called zombie cells, because they're not dead, they're not alive, they're, when they touch a host, they make it, so it's a very great comparison there. But in 2016, Mayo Clinic and Scripps Institute revealed their research around ingredients that had senolytic properties, and meaning that they could destroy these senescent cells. They could target and destroy. And fisetin was at the top of the list, quercetin, piperlongum, and the research is just continuing to evolve very quickly, because they're, in terms of the aging process, they're now finding that these senescent cells accumulating in the tissue. So, for example, a lot of joint pain, stiffness in joints are like classic descriptions of an aging person. And yet they're finding that when we can, flush out these senescent cells in the joints, in those areas, that healthy, young cells are accumulating, and those, stiffness of aging is, being reversed. And so it really is exciting and fast moving. The senescent cells can accumulate in any part, any tissue, in the brain tissue, lung tissue, muscle tissue. And it's very individualized. And so since we synthesized all the research, put the best combination of 9 senolytics. Some ingredients have an affinity for different types of tissues. And so taking a one ingredient approach to senescent cells is kind of missing the point. And so we studied all the research and studies, found this combination of ingredients that could really give a whole body, stress cell detox, if you will. And another novel aspect about this formula is that you only take it 2 days a month. The research right now really clearly shows the effects of taking a senolytic need to take a hit and run approach to dosage, which means a high dosage and then allow your body to kind of adapt to that high dosage. And then you can repeat every 4 weeks. And so, that's the formula that we put together. We're really proud. We're getting really amazing feedback from our community and continuing to formalize more studies around this product, which is, quite frankly, I believe a breakthrough in the aging, supplementation space.
Yeah. The way I like to think of senolytics is kind of like those leaves on a tree that they've gone a little bit yellow or brown, but they just kind of hang around there. But they're pulling nutrients from the tree. So that's why we prune trees, so that the foliage can grow thicker, fuller, look more beautiful, and make more fruit, right? So the same thing goes with taking senolytics, is we want to prune out those cells that are just kind of hanging around. They're pulling nutrients. They're not doing anything good. And they're not going to be basically assisting the body in their function. They're pulling things away. So what I like to do with the senolytic product is actually combine that with my parasite detox protocol that I do actually every 21 days. And that's really important. So when it comes to detoxification, I do like to look at detoxification at almost like a priestess style level. It's an ongoing thing. You're never, done detoxing with a 3-day or 10-day cleanse. It's monthly. So I like this kind of hit and run approach that you take with your senolytics. You got 2 doses in the pack, and makes it really easy. I actually need to order some more because I just wrapped up my last kind of monthly 21-day cleanse, and then have another one coming up in a couple of weeks. And the other component to taking senolytics that I find really interesting with the skin is when you think about hyperpigmentation or melasma to the skin, we actually have this overabundance of melanin in the skin. It just kind of like overdevelops and sticks around, and then you get this pigmentation, right? Melasma can be kind of like patchy, or you can have the odd sunspot or age spot, or even a red acne scar, which is basically the scarring that sticks around is called post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. So when I think of taking senolytics, I'm also considering the superficial aspects that we can see of these agents coming in and pruning out the excess melanin, the excess, basically it's hemoglobin in the skin, in the post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, post-bug bite, post-acne. And it makes sense to me that it's also going to be contributing to having clearer skin, getting rid of those senescent cells in the skin itself that they're not really going to be purged. Like, sure, you can use topical hydroquinones and other agents like retinol and at-home peels and dermal rolling. However, combining it with an internal senolytics, the skin is absolutely a reflection of your inner machinery. So the better your inner machinery is, the fewer senescent cells you have in your body, in a couple of weeks, your skin is going to show you the hard work that you've done. So having healthy skin is not just, superficial topical skincare. It really is an inside job. And the purpose of having Lauren Alexander from Neurohacker Collective, who make Qualia, is to highlight these two products that, I take myself all the time, and, I take them too, right? Use promo code Varga and pick it up over at neurohacker.com. Do you have anything else to add to what I mentioned about redness and hyperpigmentation?
No, but when you were speaking about senescent and skin, there's actually a lot of interesting research around senolytics having a benefit on the skin. And one of our researchers kind of synthesized some of the research in an article, which I'll share with you to share with your community that wants a deeper dive into how senescent cells affect skin appearance as we age. And that's pretty exciting stuff because, like you said, an inside-out approach just makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, absolutely. We had another question here. Are these products available in the UK?
Yes, we do service the UK. You can order on our website or you can order it on Amazon UK as well.
Great. And there is a specific link here. Qualia Neurohacker Collective. The Qualia skin products are available on my favorites biohacking page alongside all of the other lovely things that I like to. These are all the things that I personally use behind the scenes to help my skin be at its most glorious, radiant level. And it's just right here. So this link will take you there. And then there's a promo code to save you some money too. I know you mentioned Amazon. Personally, I don't recommend people buy things from Amazon or eBay, these, auction sites, because there can be counterfeit products. So if companies are selling on those websites, like yourself, you do have teams behind the scenes checking to make sure there aren't counterfeit vendors, which we've had a friend in our community have that happen to them. So just a little tip there to be a more conscious consumer. Do you have any closing words for our time together today, Lauren?
No, just thank you, Rachel, for the work that you've done and the quality of and the thoroughness that you do at everything you approach and touch. And so I've definitely learned a lot by participating in your skin camps and your one-on-one consultation. And I'm so delighted that you enjoy and endorse, the products that we make. We work really hard on the quality side. So it means a lot from a discerning person like you to get, your endorsement. So thank you.
Yes, my pleasure. And once again, learn more at neurohacker.com. Use code Varga and save on your next Qualia order. And next time we're going to have a part 2 here. I mean, you've been on the show before. We're going to have you back because the Mind product, oh my gosh, better than having a cup of coffee midday. So it's all about energy, right? So they have some great products for that as well. So thank you so much, Lauren, for being on the show. I look forward to seeing you again at an upcoming health biohacking conference, which this is where Lauren and I get to have fun and connect in person at these events. And we look forward to seeing you at these next events as well. So thank you for your time, Lauren. Thanks everyone for joining.
Thank you. Bye.